Okay, welcome to this audio session on 7B for the transformational flow, identifying a program. So hopefully having reviewed one on your first part of this question, which was only two, now we've got 8 statements here, so we've got 8 points for this particular part of the question, so quite a chunk of the answers and the points for this section are here. And once again, no need for any scenario, you're given true statements below. And we'll talk about the program brief again because we're still in identifying a program phase, which is the very first process in the transformational flow. Okay. So now we're looking for what's most likely to be recorded under from information in column 1 into column 2. And as you note, there are 8 statements in column 1 and only 6 in column 2. So this supports the fact and confirms once, more than once, or not at all. So let's look at the answer, the statements here. Increase accessibility to training for all staff. Right. So this is an expected benefit, right, that we're looking for an overall, and which will be therefore included in the outline description of the benefits and any significant disbenefits. Well, this is obviously a benefit. So this would be recorded under the section of B. The number of program staff required at headquarters in Newtown. Well, as this is going to be a cost because of resource requirement, therefore we need to look at the cost of doing that, and that's going to be coming under estimated costs and effort required, right? Because they're going to be providing that. Program staff, remember, are required at headquarters. There's going to be a cost for the program, so that's going to be letter C. An increase in staff productivity is expected. Well, it's a bit like the number 1. So again, this is an outline description of the benefits that we expect to have out of the program. So that's going to be letter B yet again. Right. 4. Floor plans for the planned training facilities in Northtown. Well, floor plans, all this information is part of the blueprint. Right? And we don't do the blueprint in this particular process. So that is not true. This is not going to be included in the program brief. Therefore, we would use the letter A. The projects we're working on that be and working on the business vision, the blueprint vision a bit less. Sorry, the blueprint later in the program. 5. The CFO, Chief Financial Officer, is concerned that Southdown premises might not be sold as quickly as planned. Well, of course, that concern is raising a risk here on the fact of the sale might not be when expected. So this has to be raised as a risk and will go under the letter D. The sale of Southdown is expected to realise about 75 million. Well, once again, this is looking at any benefit we might get out of here, so 6 is going to be the letter B. It's obviously a benefit that realising that money. 7. Effectiveness of the delivery of the training centre in Southdown and Northdown. So this is looking at an assessment of the current state, and therefore we need to be able to understand what it would be like afterwards. So the effectiveness of delivering the training has to be looked at before and afterwards. Bit of a gap analysis in that case. So therefore we're going to be looking at the letter F, assessment of the current state, current business operation performance in the areas impacted, so we can therefore compare and make sure that we have had the change we planned for. And finally, 8. Increased workload for shop who will have to do more administration. Now we're looking at a disbenefit here. This is the negative side of running this program and the impact it will have on some of the shop managers who have more work. Therefore, this goes back to B and looking at the significant disbenefits. So again, what we've been doing here is looking at the different statements, their relevance to the project brief, making sure they are contained in the project brief and therefore something we would be doing within the identifying a program process and what particular sections of the brief they would go in if they were to go in there at all. So we did identify at least one that wasn't, right? And that was number 4. It was too detailed for this part of the program. So do review again through that particular chapter and look at the activities and the level of detail And remember, it's always about high-level detail in identifying. We start to put more detail in the program itself through defining. That's going to take quite a while to build. And only we do a certain amount of detail. We'll look at defining in the next questions after you've completed that particular process chapter review. Thank you.